Are you carrying around in the chamber with your concealed carry? Now, I want to discuss maybe a situation where you may not want to do that. As a former law enforcement officer, I do have experience carrying a firearm, but it has been a while. Now, with the fact that you will see online tons of information about why it's important to have a round in the chamber if you are going to be doing a concealed carry, there's a lot of validity to that. But as you're building up confidence in utilizing a firearm and carrying it on you, you may want to start without. Now, I'm probably going to get some pushback here saying, well, if you're going to have a firearm on you and you don't have one in the chamber, you're not going to be ready. Well, the fact of the matter is you normally wouldn't have a firearm on you anyway, and having one on you minus having one in the chamber, you're still ahead of where you were before. So one thing to keep in mind that as you're training and building that confidence, take a week or so, maybe it's just a few days to be able to have on you with rounds in the magazine, but not one in the chamber. Now you can go about your day to day, do your normal movements, and see whether or not that trigger gets engaged. Now I use a Canik MC9 Prime for my concealed. The great thing about this is you have a trigger indicator on the back of the slide that shows you whether or not the trigger has been engaged. Now for me, that's comforting because I could just look down and see if that pin was engaged inadvertently. And it leads me to, or it lends me the opportunity to see whether or not my day-to-day movements are going to have that trigger engaged. Now, it's all about making sure that you have the right holster, that that trigger guard is protected, and that your normal movements aren't going to trigger that or have that trigger go off. Now, once that confidence is built and you feel confident in your gear and you feel confident in the fact that that trigger will not be engaged, you could then make a decision for yourself whether or not you want to have a round in the chamber. Now, don't let what the internet tells you dictate what you're going to do and what your comfort level is. You have to decide that for yourself. Again, not coming across as an expert by any means, but I hope that all of you find a way to conceal carry that's comfortable for you and that makes sense. Bottom line is, whatever you decide to do, you need to train up on that way and make sure that you are proficient and confident in your training.